Hello, everyone. This is Mike with Real Dead, and we're going to check out Pet Semetary Bloodlines. This just came out within the last couple of weeks. We've seen some mixed reviews on it. The critics don't really like it, but hey, what do the critics like? They don't like most horror movies. We had to check it out ourselves. This is out on, I believe, Paramount Plus is where I saw it. But let's take a look into it. And let's give you a synopsis up front. This is going to be a non-spoiler to beginning, and at the end, there's going to be a spoiler to this. So let's check this out. So the synopsis of the movie is as follows. In 1969, a young Judd Crandall has dreams of leaving his hometown of Ludlow, Maine behind, but soon he discovers sinister secrets buried within and is forced to confront a dark family history that will forever keep him connected to Ludlow. Banding together, Judd and his childhood friends must fight an ancient evil that has gripped Ludlow since its founding and once unearthed has the power to destroy everything in its path. Based on the untold chapter from Pet Semetary, Stephen King's chilling novel, Pet Semetary Bloodlines is a terrifying prequel and the untold story of why sometimes dead is better. It always says that one in the original Pet Semetary. It said that as well when an older Judd Crandall said that. Let's take a look and see what the so far. It's got 55 reviews from the critics, and it has a 20 and an audience score of much better of 56%. Not quite, got to hit 60, I think, to get the popcorn look on it. But it's probably average score, not great, but a lot better than the critics, with over 100 people giving this a rating on it. So, what do we think about it? So, I came into this with high hopes because I love Pet Semetary. The original Pet Semetary. It also received bad ratings from the, if you look it up on Rotten Tomatoes, from the critics as well, but the audience liked it a little better. Coming into this, I didn't have huge expectations because I waited about a week before it came out, before we saw it. But this movie overall was much better than I thought it was going to be. It starts out really well, the first 30 minutes of it. You can tell what's going on basically by the synopsis of what it said. It's shot well, I thought. The actors are young and they're not that bad. They're actually pretty good, I thought. Overall, I thought the acting overall in the whole movie wasn't that bad. I do admit that towards the end of the movie, it kind of takes a turn to another direction, and wasn't a big fan of that. But overall, it tells the story of kind of what I thought would happen in this movie, it's not that bad. On a scale of 1 to 10, and 5 being average, I'd give it a 5 to 5.5. So it's average. It's worth watching. It's something that I think, if you're trying to find something new to watch you hadn't seen in a while, or that you haven't seen, I would definitely check it out. Is it going to be one of the best horror movies you've ever seen? Absolutely not. But it's worth watching to see a prequel prior to Pet Semetary, especially if you're a Pet Semetary fan. That's just my opinion on it. So that's all we're going to say as of right now. Let's get into some spoilers on this. So cut this off at this point after the 3-minute and 30-second mark of this video. Cut it off if you don't want to hear any spoilers. We'll go in a little deeper with it. So with the spoilers coming out now, this movie starts out, again, first 20, 30 minutes is great. They're kind of layering the story, layering. It starts out a little slow, I have to admit. Well, at the very beginning, you see a gentleman in here. I can't remember his name, the actor in here, but he takes his son and buries him. He starts telling everybody that his son came back a war hero, whereas Judd and his girlfriend are wanting to go join the Peace Corps. So there's an underlying story that's going on throughout this movie, especially the first half of it, that the only reason Judd has not had to go to the Vietnam War, this is happening in 1969, is because somehow the doctor has they've worked out the numbers or something so that he doesn't have to leave. When in reality, I think what and that may be what really happened behind the scenes, but I think there's also a underlying story that Judd has to be, in my opinion, this is my opinion on it, that Judd has to stick around because he's the last male in the family. And you find out there's a bond that originally when this place was founded, there was 4 or 5 families that founded it, and all of them had the last name, Candrell, I think it's the last name of theirs. They're one of the original founders. Well, they had made a pact that they knew this had sour earth on it, and that if anybody buried their loved ones in these certain grounds, that they would come back. So these family of 4 or 5 made a pact to always, uphold that and take care of, if anybody did that and they came back, take care of them. So that's the underlying story of it. There's also an underlying story of, you got 3 friends. Tim, I think Manny is his name. Tim, and then Judd, grew up, friends, played hockey together, grew up together. Tim went to war, came back, was killed. His dad buried him. He came back. He's not the same Timmy. Some really creepy scenes in here. A lot of them you saw in the trailer, unfortunately. But there are some other pretty good jump scares. The dog at the beginning attacks the girl, rips her arm up pretty bad. It looks pretty gruesome. Some pretty good kills in it. I think at the very end where it kind of lost me, though, was you knew they had to kill Timmy, and the father went with them, and Judd's dad went with them. But somehow they ended up into these underground tunnels. And I guess they've been around for years. I don't know. But they went down into the cellar. They had all these tunnels going around. They're running around through the tunnels, and the girl gets stuck in the mud, and she's about to die because of the mud and water. And that part of it kind of just lost me. I'm like, man, the whole movie prior to it was about the story of and maybe that's why they went to the ground of it, trying to tell the story, because this was in the cellar and in the earth, and it was bad earth. I don't know. They kind of lost me on that point. But yeah, at the very end of this, Manny saves Judd's life. Timmy's got him, underneath the water, choking him out in the water, and then he takes a gun. I think it's a gun or a flare gun, shoots him, and it goes in his mouth or his face, kills him. And then at the very end of it, you see the famous, what you saw in the original Pet Semetary was Judd as an older gentleman sitting on the front porch there, kind of watching everything. And then his young son, Judd, when he was young, Judd takes his daddy's spot. His dad was doing that too throughout the movie, where he's sitting on the front porch, kind of just rocking, smoking cigarettes, drinking a few beers, and kind of looking over everything. And, the famous line, some things are better left dead, is said throughout this a few times. But again, overall, not a bad movie to check out. Not the greatest movie ever seen. I always say 5 is average. If something gets into 7 or higher for me, it's really, really good in my opinion. It's really worth watching. So this is a 5, 5.5. Again, trying to find something new, definitely check it out. Give us your thoughts. Give us your opinions. It's on Paramount Plus right now. This is Mike from Keeping It Real, or Real Dead, and I'm keeping it real with you, trying to give you my honest opinion on it. But thank you guys. Have a good one. Bye.